All right, everyone, talk about what we were just talking about.
Okay.
Don't let them know that we're streaming. Don't tell them.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Oh my god.
Me.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. You and me. You and me. Okay, we are ready.
Stauble is a shade.
That was quick.
Mia. Are we live?
We are live, yes.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to, I don't know, an evening of streaming. We're continuing with our low fantasy gaming campaign. As always, we have to shill just a little bit. Hey, buy my book. It's in the description. We actually shared the link this time,
Yes.
but otherwise we'll jump straight into it. Last week, our party was running, and they continue running, heading to the Great East Gate in, would you believe it, the eastern part of the great city of West Point. Scorn marauders have sneakily taken over the port of the city, having been invited by Genevieve Galgrim, and apparently the one who was commanding her all along, an entity that has taken over the mind of Illandur's mother, known only as Althea. As the party runs to the east, the pseudo-serpentman Tennyson and the wizened monk Adrian Jaru lead the way, as their friends and families have fled aboard Illandur's father's boat, the Sea Maiden, as the guns have begun firing into the foggy mist. There are sounds of screaming, and there's a sound of distant burning. And as you look fleetingly behind you, there are flames and smoke beginning to pour into the city as the raiders start pushing into the great city proper. As the party run east, you are moving to meet what you believe to be the remainder of the now dissolved West Point Legion. All the forces have been disbanded by order of the final remaining Senate member, Genevieve Galgrim. But you know that Captain Abraham, leader of the Senate Guard, has instructed his men to rally all survivors in Hudson Square so as to guard the Great East Gate and allow as many people to escape as possible. As you are fleeing, please tell me, is there anything specific you would like to be doing?
Just booking it for my uncle's house.
Yeah, just go in. I'll be with Ravik, throwing him up.
Fantastic. Illandur, as you sprint, your mind is caught between the few things that have happened. Your mother seemingly referring to herself as this entity that offered you great promise, and you, willing but unwilling to join with this, you felt that there was something deeply wrong with what was going on, and yet it was tempting. Your father revealed that he could speak in Elven, and that his ship had gunpowder, highly controlled substance in the city of West Point and in the world of the SilverWind coast. You've been thrown into turmoil as you're considering these actions, and it seems that for the moment, for the better or worse, you've been stuck with these roguish figures that you've been doing your best to get away from for the past couple of days. Stauble, you have left Patek on the boat, a man that you have been apart from for these past few years, traveling first with the circus and now split. Zaro, you are alone in the world, but you have your trusty hound Jask to your side. Tristan, you have your master Adrian, and Ravik, you've left your uncle, the quartermaster, on the Sea Maiden as it fled. As all these thoughts crash through your mind, you see in the distance in front of you the wall parts as a large gate emerges into the friendly voice. Well, gentlemen, you're running a little bit late there. And you see coming almost from the middle of nowhere, appearing as though expertly hidden behind cover, the face of Abraham Hudson.
There's no time to stop, Captain. Just keep going.
Yeah, we gotta go.
No problem. As you're running into the square, you see that a large number of people are blocking in the gate. You see that quite a way beyond the square, there's a whole load of civilians. Carts have been overturned in panic. And you found yourself somewhat in the center of the square. Abraham with you says, "Gentlemen, there's not going to be any immediate leaving. We need to make sure that these civilians get out. We've sent men across the city. We're gathering what remains of the Legion. I hear that there is another guard being posted at Amity Gate on the west side. We'll get you through as quickly as possible. Just head with my men."
All right.
Aye.
Thank you, Captain.
Aye.
All right, Ravik, as you begin to head forward first, you see this legionary kind of moves to accompany you. What is your marching order? So Ravik has immediately responded. Who is second?
I'll go.
Zaro, you and Jask join Ravik. The rest of you.
I'd like to be in the middle somewhere.
Okay, so we'll move Zaro. So will you move up from there? And then Tennyson's going to step up. Tennyson's going to hug your side, Storble. He's going to stay very close to you. He's not letting you out of arm's reach, it seems. Tristan, whereabouts are you?
I'll be behind Storble and try and be close to Adrian as well.
Fine. Abraham and the legionaries, they're taking cover behind this cart, trying to keep a scope out on the rest of the city. You've come from the northwest and you are heading southeast.
Sorry, should we have already taken a short rest by now?
Your sprint. This is the thing. You have an opportunity now, as you can see that there are a lot of civilians. If you're going to press on immediately, you may do so. And otherwise, you may take a short rest. You can wait here for a few minutes. Abraham has men guarding the perimeter. Would you like to wait for a few minutes and catch your breath, or are you going to immediately try to press forward?
I mean,
I'd prefer to press forward, but I'd like to quickly ask Abraham if he, have you seen any danger beyond the East Gate, or is it only coming from the seafront?
It looks like they're coming from the port. We don't have any information. All of our lines of communication seem to have been taken out quite effectively. Many of the guards seem to be loyal to, well, Galgrim and her successor.
Okay, well, if we took a short rest right now, how long would that delay us?
Short rest takes 2 to 3 minutes. It's just a breather to catch your breath, to restore some points.
If it's 2 to 3 minutes, I don't think that's too much of an issue. What do you guys think?
I think that's okay. I mean, I could use it.
I'm happy to use a rest.
Fantastic. Ilander, what are you thinking at this point?
Yeah. Yes, I could use a quick breather. That last fight took a rather large amount of my stamina.
Yes, I know what you mean, Ilander. Let's take a couple of minutes then.
And
I'll just lean by the fountain. Sorry, go on.
No problem.
I start disrobing because I've got all these fancy robes on, and I'm like, get them off me.
You've got so many robes. You're just trying to whittle it down to some simple undergarments. That's not a problem. Tennyson moves over to you, Storble.
Do any of us have a medkit, by the way?
I don't believe so, not at this point.
No, amigo.
All right.
However, you are in a disheveled market. Mostly a food market, looks like, but would you like to do any exploration? Bear in mind, depending on how long you spend, you can rest and then explore. You could explore and then rest.
I was going to see, actually, if Abraham would have any, like, let's say, spare quiver of arrows, or like a few arrows, or to restock. Or...
I gave you what we had. We're primarily a melee force. Our archers are up on the walls. If you can get to the walls, that might be somewhere to check, but all our weaponry is currently at the gatehouse.
Okay. Gracias, amigo. It's okay.
Storble, you are approached by Tennyson, and he seems to kind of look you up and down. How are we doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, I think.
He's examining you for any obvious injury. So, is everything okay? Are you wounded?
I've got a little scratch. The guy shot me, but I'm made of tougher stuff, me.
Right. Okay. He kind of moves to examine it. Where are you injured, Storble? Where is the...
Maybe just a little across the shoulder, maybe. Like a little,
Okay, he kind of moves to examine your shoulder. All right, this isn't good. This could be infected. He kind of pulls out a little cloth and kind of wipes it a little bit. And you see his eyes shimmer yellow. And you are immediately healed. 14 hit points.
Wow.
And as you watch the wound close over, right, I hope that's a little bit better.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
Good. Right. We got to keep you alive.
Just quickly, sorry. So I can roll the willpower checks to restore points.
With Jask, yeah. So you may choose which type of rest. And the way it works in LFG is you can roll 1, 2, or 3 times, and you have to roll under your willpower score. Each time you do so, you may restore one of your attribute pools from your different skills, or you may restore half your hit points, rounded up plus your constitution modifier.
Yeah.
But you may only take your health once. Each time you succeed on a short rest, you may only take 1 point of each individual score. Luck is not affected. DDM is not affected on a short rest.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
So I can.
Dristan. Sorry, go on, Ilander.
No, so if I take a short rest, then if I go for the 3 short rest, I can potentially get back 2 of my health points.
Plus health if you succeed on all 3.
Yeah,
But you have to roll 3 willpower checks.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think I could be all right with that.
And remember, this affects your reroll pool as well. So you might want to recover a reroll die, depending on, you have to allocate it as you desire.
Yeah, I've used 1 reroll.
So you still have 2 you still have 2 reroll dice then. So yes, as a human, you get 2 reroll dice, don't you?
Oh, and then another one for a level.
Yes, because you're all level 2 at this point. Yeah, so you should have a maximum of 3. Tristan, as this is going on, everyone's kind of moving, taking a breather, recovering. What are you doing?
Which one's back?
Yeah, I guess after bending the fire, I'm a bit dried up, so I'm just drinking from the fountain.
So Adrian leans over the fountain with you. You know, Tristan, I've tried to understand a lot of things for a long time. And the balance is very important, but I've not seen this far. Everything from here on out is beyond my understanding.
Does anybody else hear that?
Hey, we're trying to rest here.
He stands up.
Band over there.
Yeah, you kind of see some of the musicians in the crowd of
It's the
civilians
circus.
that are some way off to the southeast, beyond the southeast corner of the map. They knock it off a little bit.
By the way, can I be changing outfit right now? I want to be putting on my traveler's clothing that I purchased.
Absolutely, you can. You can put on your traveler's clothing. That's not a problem.
Abraham.
So Ilander, you're going to be, so you guys are disrobing, kind of taking off the excess clothing. These legionaries are kind of staying behind cover somewhat, keeping an eye out to the northwest. All right.
Question: did I get a diploma from my college?
Just as that was all going on, do you know what? It was in the middle of that presentation, so you would have received the diploma before everything. So you do have the diploma document Ravik, your diploma is at Yeruz's house, so you are aware that it's kept there. Excellent. As all that's going on, that's fine. So as you're taking a breather, Abraham kind of looks over. He's like, "We're going to need to move quickly. I don't know if we've got many legionnaires left in the city."
Where?
Zaro.
Yeah. See.
It's been a pleasure, but I fear you're going to have to move. Listen. And he kind of...
Where should we meet you?
As you head over, he's kind of talking to you, Zaris. My men are going to move to the forests to the south of us.
See.
We've got a few rendezvous points, and we'll see what we can build up. The problem is I don't know how much of the Legion remains.
Mm-hmm.
If all else fails, you'll meet us at the northern ridge of the forest to the south. There's a small outcrop that overlooks the city. It's an old scouting route.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's an outcrop, did you say?
Yes, there's an outcrop. It's on the northern part of the forest. It's just as the forest breaks into plains. We can see the city from a distance. It's elevated, and it's an old encampment site
Does it have a name?
from our scouting routes.
Does it have a name?
It doesn't have a name in of itself. It's just the outlook.
Calais.
What is your plan, Captain?
Where are all these civilians gonna go?
Well, if the Autumn Isles have decided to invade, then every settlement on the SilverWind coast needs to know. We need to establish lines of communication to the other settlements,
The Enclave.
which is going to be problematic considering West Point's isolationist policy. I'll probably head north. There's a few settlements northeast of here
Mm-hmm.
that might be able to provide naval defenses against this fleet. It came out of nowhere, and the guns targeting our own. We're in deep trouble here.
I know it's far, amigo, but if you make it to the Enclave, use my name. I'll take you in.
I don't think the Enclave is quite in the position that you believe it to be, Zaro.
Yes, but there are men willing to fight.
For gold, and I have none.
Well, if the whole coast is in danger, maybe they might overlook it this time.
You're an optimistic one, Zaro.
See.
If we survive this, remind me to buy you a drink. And as this is going on, you hear shouts from the Legionnaires. Incoming northwest, and you see a small troop of soldiers start charging as the Legionaries rush to engage. This is just the first wave. You can see that a whole swathe of men. Abraham pushes you back, Zaro, as these Scorn rush forward to engage with the soldiers, and you can see that there are more on the way immediately behind them. Abraham shouts to the rest of you, "Go, we've got this. Looks like we're out of..." And you can say, and see as they engage, "Who is the Legion? I!" And you see shields slam the ground and bash back these Scorn raiders as they ensue in a melee. And as that happens, you will break into a sprint southeast.
Before we run,
Ravik,
can I take one shot and then run,
roll to hit.
just to help? I want to shoot at the one engaged with Abraham.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. So that's this guy here. That's fine.
Oh no, not that die. Combat die. There we go. Okay, that is a 17 to hit.
That will hit. Roll me some damage.
Okay. Oof. $25 points of damage.
You watch what happens to this Scorn.
Oh, I'm straight for the head.
You raise the weapon. Do you say anything in scorn as you do it?
Yeah, I just say, this one is for my mother.
You let loose. There is an explosion of heat and energy as his head explodes like a melon. And you see Abraham kind of turn, give you a salute, and runs to assist his men. And you are running out of there. You see the gate is still full of civilians, but you manage to push.
Just saying one thing before I start running. I have my bow in hand, but that's all I have equipped, right? Yeah. But I kind of yell, be like, "I'll meet you at the outlook, amigo."
We'll be waiting for you, Zaro. If you live.
I will. Okay, start running.
You continue sprinting. You can see Abraham kind of throwing himself into the melee, and you see more Scorn arriving. You hear shouts. More soldiers rush to them. They form a shield wall. Who is the Legion? Shields crash against the ground as the shield wall is formed, and dozens of voices sing out in unison, "Hi!" as they start forming a defensive perimeter against the Scorn enclave. And as you run, Ravik, can you roll a perception check, please?
Yeah. That's a 9, which is a success.
Above the din, it's distant, but your ears are well used to hearing it. There is gunfire, and it strikes you as noteworthy that such a thing should be occurring. The rest of you punch east out of the gate. You see civilians are moving and fleeing intermittently with soldiers guiding them east. You can see that this is a city of 1 million people trying to get out of it all at the same time, and no one actually has anywhere to go. So it is chaos. But Ravik, you know exactly where your uncle's house is, and you run straight for it. I would like everyone, please, to roll constitution checks, first of all.
By the way, is the gunfire, I'm assuming that's coming from within the city?
It sounds like firearms, handheld firearms, small arms, which is why it's not the explosion of cannons that everyone else is hearing. You can hear small arms fire.
From the city? From the city. Right, okay.
What an 8. Great 6.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Roll 2.
6, great success.
5, great success.
All great successes. So as you're being buffeted and ricocheted around these people like a pinball machine, you all manage to keep up with Ravik. And you see Dristan, as Adrian moves through the crowd, it's like people are getting in and out of the way of him. And as he's running, it's almost as though there isn't anyone around him. Whereas Storble, to keep up with you, Tennyson is just shoving and moving people and is working hard to keep with you. As you reach the house, Ravik, you enter, and I presume you go for the lockbox.
Yeah, immediately.
As Ravik is going for the lockbox, you are in Yaruza's house. It's a simple house, but it is the house of a quartermaster. Is anyone else doing anything while Ravik goes for the lockbox?
I'm respectfully just searching just cupboards, drawers, anything like.
Okay, so everyone call out something specific they're looking. If you're just looking in general, that's one thing. But if you can call out what you're looking for, then I can amend your roll.
Hidden compartments and safe or something.
Fine. Roll me a perception detection check.
Perception detection. I only have perception. Okay. I rolled a 3. Great success.
So as you roll a 3, can you roll me a D100, please, Zara?
Roll 100.
91. 91.
I thought you said I rolled 100.
Imagine.
Okay, on a 91, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you're searching. You find rations. You find food. As you're looking around, there's a lot of Scorn rations, which is basically dried meats and jerkies. Looks like it will last a while.
How much do you know?
about 4 days worth
4 days.
that you can immediately grab. And on top of that, there seems to be a small vial of dark paste. It seems to be some kind of condiment with the rest of kind of the food that's laid about.
Okay.
As you're doing that, Storble, is there anything in particular you'd like to be doing?
Are there any weapons around?
Looking for weapons. Fantastic. Roll me a D20, please. Perception detection.
A natural one.
Yes, as you're looking around, on a natural one, you do find a cutlass. And it looks like it looks like a ceremonial cutlass more than a full-blown combat cutlass. But you reckon it could see combat. Yeah, on a natural one, you find what looks to be a cutlass. And as you take it, while you're looking around, you also find, think Tuscan Raider. You find a ceremonial Scorn war club. It is a two-handed war club.
What about any armor?
Illander, roll a D20, please. Perception detection if you're looking for armor.
And also a natural one.
Another natural one. As you're looking around, you don't really find much armor, but you are able to find a few old pauldrons, what look to be ranger gear. It's not a suit of armor that would fit you, but you reckon you could strap some leather pauldrons to yourself to give yourself light armor, the equivalent of a couple of leather scraps here and there would be +1 to your AC.
Brilliant. I mean, that's better than 14.
Absolutely. Tristan.
I'm going to be looking for a med kit.
Fantastic. Roll a D20, perception detection.
Good one.
That's a 19.
Okay. He does not own a med kit that you are able to find at this moment in time. And Ravik, as you go for the lockbox, you find inside there is a small wooden statuette of an owl bear. There is a locket bearing the visage of Varna, your mother, and there is 50 feet of rope.
Okay. I take all of those things, and just to be sure, I want to double check the lockbox for any like secret compartments, false bottom, that kind of thing.
Roll a D100.
Jacket fly.
83.
You don't find anything else in the lockbox, but it looks like this locket it is half of a locket. It's not snapped open. This one looks like it would go on a necklace. It looks like there's a missing second half. It's not evident where it is, but it looks like there is a second half to this locket.
Okay. Right. Fantastic. Right. I'll take
Adrian is at the door, but Tennyson has come inside with you, Storble, and he's gone straight with Zaro. That's going to be fine. And he's going to find another. He's going to basically, instead of looking around, he's gone straight for the kitchen and has just started putting food in a bag. Make a note, Storble, because he's going to be keeping this for you. You have 10 days of rations plus what Zaro's found in dried meats and jerkies.
And for those of us that don't eat meat,
then you'll be looking for mushrooms on the trail.
Did you say 10? How many days? 10 days was that?
10 days.
Awesome.
And this stuff, it's like this stuff doesn't look like it's ever going to go off.
Cool.
And Ravik may even gain benefits from eating foods that are reminiscent of his home. As this is going on, you hear a pounding at the door as Adrian steps back in. So, all right, guys, I think we've outstayed our welcome. All of you can now hear the sounds of small arms fire bleeding from the city, spilling out into the wards. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but someone's given them guns, so we might want to move very quickly.
See, I agree. Let's go.
Right. Tristan, you with us?
Yeah.
Fantastic. We good? We kind of step straight back out.
I kind of go outside with him and just
fantastic.
Look around, just like make sure we have like a defensive perimeter ready to move.
You don't have it's just people running and screaming.
Yeah, but
it's a little bit.
I'm on
World
Overwatch.
War Z.
I'm on Overwatch, basically.
You're on Overwatch. That's fine. So you're keeping an eye. Okay, it's less World War Z. It's more 28 weeks later, where people are running. Some of them are like human civilians. Some of them are guards, and some of them are Scorn, and everyone's just running, and it's crazy.
Oh, they've already got outside of the East Gate.
It looks like that they've started to spill through the East Gate. You've been here for a good few minutes, looking around.
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
I can't if I can.
In fact,
guys,
Zaro, as you've specifically said you're on Overwatch, can you roll me an intelligence perception check, please?
Got it. That is a 4. That'll be a quick success.
They're not spreading out randomly. It looks like there are Scornic soldiers specifically coming for where you are.
Bang on the door again. Vamonos!
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, you head out, and as you all begin to spill out and just start sprinting, heading south, trying to get as far away from the city as possible, you do see that maybe 30 seconds, a minute after you got out, several Scorn soldiers kicked in the door and started going through the building you were just in. But you are running, and as you continue to sprint south, you look behind you as pillars of smoke come out of the city of West Point. There are civilians, carts, horses, everyone's just spilling away from the city.
Can I say one thing?
Zaro?
If on our path we're running, and I do see that, let's say someone's in need, like someone's getting attacked, I'll quickly, like as I go by, but just,
There's no one being attacked where you are, but there are people with like broken wheels on their wagons or horses that they're trying to get ready. Everyone is just in a state of chaotic fleeing.
Got it. Give me 1 second, guys.
No worries. And as you manage to get far enough out to reach the tree line, things begin to calm down, and you have a chance to consider what's just happened. Breathing deeply, as you are within the cover of intermittent trees. The full tree line is still away south, but you are out of immediate danger. Is there anything you would like to do or say before you begin your journey to Dahnundur?
Question. Have I ever heard the name Althea?
Roll me an intelligence divine law check.
Got one into those. Oh, 6, that's a great success.
Fantastic. So you've absolutely heard the name Althea, but it's not as a full-blown deity. You've heard it more in a cultural setting, more from your elven studies than from your theistic studies. But the name has negative connotations, though there's very limited actual information on who this Althea is, or what she wants. Again, a lot of the information would be contained in Buno's records, you believe, which are in the Trobinald Heartflame wing of the Citadel. As you're all stopped for a moment, Storble, Tennyson again is kind of at your side.
Hello
Are
again.
you okay?
I'm fine. I found these weapons.
Well, that's great. Do you know how to use them?
No.
Right,
They look good though. They're big.
They are quite large. I would recommend maybe he kind of moves to take the rapier from you, seeing as it's a bladed, sharp weapon. But you can't go wrong with a stick.
That's what I'm thinking.
Tristan, you okay?
Yeah, that last battle was stressing me out.
A little bit intense there. Kind of turns to look at you, Stalwarts. I suppose I owe you thanks for saving my life.
That's no worries. That's what I do.
Evidently. Seems that for one reason or another, we're all still here, we're all still around. Come on, we've got to get to Dahnundur. It's a good few days' travel.
Are we at that outcrop that was mentioned before?
You're not quite that far yet. You are at the northern ridge, more or less, of the forest, which is a good. It's a bit weird. So the plains become more forested and more treed, but you have not entered the forest area yet. It's a good few miles, 2-3 miles, before you actually get to the thick forest. So you're kind of in thickets and kind of that middle area where the plains blends into a forested area more.
Okay.
Roll a perception check, though, Ravik, as you're asking about it.
It's 14, which is a fail.
Okay, you look around. It's not immediately apparent where this cliff outcropping area is.
Right. Well, we don't have any time to waste. We need to get moving. We have the approximate location of where we're headed, so let's go.
So we're going to Dahnundur.
Ultimately,
Hey,
yes,
someone
but-
finally said it correctly.
Oh, no worries, amigo.
Yes, but first we need to get to the outcrop, don't we?
See about your uncle.
It's going to be some time before they're ready to do anything there. It seems they're. We should leave West Point to do what West Point's going to do, and our priority should be getting them the assistance of Dahnundur.
I agree.
Abraham has it well in hand, I believe.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, but can we not at least stop by there? It may provide a good vantage point so we can see if, well, we can see potentially if, they got away.
You can certainly try.
It's on the way anyway, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
Zoro? He told you where it was, didn't he?
See, yes, he said
Do you think you could guide us there?
possibly northern ridge of the forest. The outlook over an outcrop. I look around. Is there anything like I can
Roll an
see?
intelligence wilderness law check.
That is a 5. That's a great success.
Fantastic. You can see that down to the southeast there is what looks to be some kind of ridge line that is at a higher elevation than the rest of the tree line, for sure. However, as you're looking, everyone's moving and milling and running and fleeing. On success, it doesn't look like many soldiers, if any, have headed or directly aware of any armed contingent heading there.
Breaking up a little bit there.
Yeah, you are
Am
breaking
I?
up a bit.
Okay.
A little.
So you're not aware of any armed contingent heading there currently.
Got it. From my take, amigos, it'd be in that direction, but no one's going there.
That's okay. Like I said, it's a vantage point. Maybe we'll be able to see, the sea from there.
Okay. We'll go quick before it gets too crowded with civilians.
Fantastic.
What time of day is it? Sorry.
So it's actually only around midday. It was an early.
Oh, it's an early one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's only around midday. Considering you've been running and kind of moving for about an hour and a half from when you first left the Citadel. Right.
Okay, guys, let's head off.
Excellent. So, as you begin heading southeast, it doesn't take you too long, maybe another half an hour of walking and kind of catching your breath a little bit and moving. You do eventually find, with Zaro and Jask leading the way, Jask is moving ahead of you. A mix between excited at all this action, finally being able to go out for a proper walk, and also tense, feeding off the emotions of the rest of you, picking up on the vibe. You do find this outcropping and a way that you can wander up, and it looks like there's an old campsite there. But currently, where there are old dead fire pits and spaces that seem to have been cleared in times past for soldiers to pitch tents and bivouacs and things like this, there is not currently anyone there. But you do have a vantage point, and you can see West Point quite clearly from here.
I would like to scan the horizon, see if I can see the ship the others left in.
Roll a d20. This is a perception detection check.
And I change to wolf form to do this.
What does it look like as you shift to wolf form?
I really thought about it.
Is it that you manifest energy around you? Is it that there is a hue? Is it an aura?
I'd say it's maybe a bit of an maybe like a hue change. Maybe my eyes look more wolf-like.
Cool. You lick your nose quickly and then stop yourself. Your eyes sharpen and you begin to scan the horizon. Please roll your perception check.
I do have detection, so I'm going to use a reroll. And that's great because the reroll was a 1.
You scan the horizon, looking as far west as you can see, because you have to go west to go south. You cannot see the Sea Maiden. Then you rub your eyes, look again, turn to look north, and there is the telltale flag and sail silhouette of the Sea Maiden heading northeast.
I know it's quite far, but does the ship seem to be damaged? Is there any smoke coming from it?
On a natural one, the ship looks, I mean, there may be minor damage, but there isn't sufficient damage for you to be able to see at this range.
Okay. I point it out to everyone else because I know, well, most everyone has. Well, that's just me, Storble and Illander. I think we have people that are somewhat close to us on that boat. So I point it out, and I mean, it seems they're alive and they're safe. They're going the wrong way. I told them to meet us in Dahnundur, and they're going north. Dahnundur, did he say anything to you about where they may be heading?
The winded head is just down at the moment. He's quiet. He looks a bit sad.
Are you okay, Illander?
Yeah. What do you think? The city that I grew up in is in ruins. My mother seems to have been taken over by an evil elven deity. and everyone I know is in close proximity to me, otherwise they are dead. So no, I am not all right. In fact, I'm rather perturbed. So, what did you say?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Landor. No, I know what you're feeling right now. I was just wondering if your father mentioned anything to you before he left.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
He said to stay with you. So nothing else.
Sorry, you're a bit muffled there, Ilander. I don't know if your mic.
I've got to speak into the mic.
Please.
I'm getting a bit too into it. He just sort of wiped his eyes. No, he didn't say anything.
Can you roll an intelligence check, please, Ilander?
Yep. Not before.
You've rarely paid attention to your father, and him coming out with Elven knocked you for 6, and you're not sure about anything that you knew about it. You don't know what is now true and what is not true. If he's heading north, you do know that there is the city of Azerfort, or the town of Azerfort a few miles away. It could be repairs. AZER Fort. It used to be a main naval location for the old West Point Empire. But there is one other thing that catches your mind. In that if he's heading north, he has spoken at length, though you've never really listened, about the wonders of the coast and how the old stories say that should the worst ever come to it, there are ways to deter and prevent the end of the world as we know it. You think that if he's heading north, he might be looking for something like this. He's probably going to get repairs, but it just troubles you in your mind that he's spoken at length about these things. It's one of the reasons, he says, why he always wanted to get you on the ship more, so that you'd be able to man a vessel, because it's the fastest way to travel and the best way to explore.
So, from what we saw, what was left of the... How many of us are there?
There are 7 of you currently.
7. Did I see any vessels that were small enough that we could sort of hug the coastline even?
You could probably commandeer a vessel, but a vessel small enough for 7 people is going to be a rowboat, a whaling ship.
How many would I need for a small yacht, should we say?
I mean, if you wanted to hijack a longboat, that's something. But
yeah,
you'd need a few. Roll me an intelligence sailing check, Ilander.
Which I have got.
You have got. There you go.
Natural 5, so that's a great success.
Fantastic. If these longboats are built
into a 4, sorry.
Into a 4, that's fantastic. If these longboats, these long ships are standardized, and they work the same way as other kind of long ships that you've heard bits about and read about, you could man a ship and make it move. It wouldn't go as fast as it could. You'd need everyone. You could do it with half a dozen people.
Do you reckon knowing that, do I reckon that would be faster than traveling on foot? Or
so there's a combination of things here. Over land, all you have to do is walk south. Literally, if you just keep walking south, you'll end up where you need to go. If you get on a boat, there's a whole load of other risks. Getting the boat is a whole load of other risks, and you're going to be pursued over water, which means if you're traveling faster, they're traveling faster, and the Scorn will have fully manned ships.
That's true. Okay.
As you're pondering this, Ilandur, Ravik, on a natural 1, you look back with your wolf eyes at the Great East Gate, and something catches your eye. There is a single figure amongst people moving and milling and running. A lot of people that have fled, that have been caught, have not been killed, but they seem to be being dragged back to the city. There is one figure just walking south towards you, just walking. There's no panic, there's no sudden movement from this figure. There's a single figure just marching south.
Does it look like they're Scorn? Human?
It's hard to tell at this distance. Humanoid.
Right. Okay. I'll make everyone aware. Point them out. We might have someone on our tail. But if they're all heading north, why are we going to Dahnundur? The point was to meet there.
Look, I don't know what their plans are, but we've got to get south. I've got to talk to the council. We've got to figure out what we're going to do. If the Scorn have hit the coast, it's only going to be a matter of days before the rest of the cities are going to be influenced in one way or another, or wiped out. We need to make sure that Dahnundur's prepared.
Ilandur's father is on that boat. Storble's small friend is on that boat. Tech is on that boat. How can we just leave them?
Do you trust your father? Do you trust your uncle?
Well, yes, but we should be together.
Sort of running short of people that we can trust. Now, as you can probably tell.
Well, there's one thing about things that belong together being pulled apart generally end up getting back together with more force than before. They're heading north. There's going to be a reason. Look at the sea. It's full of longships. Maybe they couldn't head west yet.
Don't like it.
Let's just go. Better than sitting around here.
Tristan and Storble, and Zaro, is there anything you're doing while Ravik and Ilandur are talking to Adrian, examining the coast?
In this camp, do I think anything was like buried or hidden in case of emergencies?
I don't know. Do you think that?
I'm gonna send me and Jess on a little like hunt to see if Abraham knew, or if Abraham wants to come here, and it's just a camp. There must be a reason. There must be a reason deeper than just a camp.
Roll a d20.
And that one.
As you head around the camp, what used to be a camp, with dead fire pits and space for tents, you look around, and then you see the central fire pit that's so dead seems to have some kind of scratch marks, claw marks, shovel marks. Seems to have been disturbed.
I want to investigate. See what.
Well, as you investigate, that's what you find as you investigate. The central fire pit seems to have been disturbed. It seems to have been
Can I tell what
well
animal?
disturbed.
What animal? What claws? What?
Claws or shovels, tools, or it's not clear. It's been disturbed.
Can I dig it up? Get
You dig into it.
To get Jess to like, dig it up, yeah.
Get just to dig into it. Okay. As you dig into the central fire pit, can you roll me a D100, please?
Ooh, 97.
As you dig into this fire pit, before too long, Jask's claws scratch wood.
Yeah, Storble, come help me with this, amigo.
Hey, what do you need?
Need your hands.
Okay, I'll get digging.
Trying to uncover this.
As you kind of you get this war stick and you kind of start shoveling with it. Within a few minutes, while Illander and Ravik are talking, Tristan, are you helping? What are you doing while this is going on?
From the way that we came, I'm going to just try and hide our footprints, make it seem like nobody came through
Nice.
where we came through.
Zara and Storble, you've discovered a coffin.
I don't think we should dig this up.
No,
Never ends well.
It's okay, amigo. You need to step back. It's okay. But I pull it out. So, how big is this coffin? Like,
You pull it out. It's a human-sized. It's quite heavy. As you pull it, you have unearthed. You have excavated a coffin.
Does it have any signs on it, or just plain?
There's a
wooden
plain wooden coffin.
coffin? Okay, I put my hand on the lid. Storble, just be ready just in case anything jumps out. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
I open the coffin.
Okay. As you open the coffin, the first thing I need you to do, Zara, is roll a Constitution check, a luck Constitution save.
Sheesh. Come on. What a 9. Just success.
Your luck is reduced by 1.
Got it.
And as you open it, you cough as this somewhat foul air escapes. And you see a figure dressed in armor with a sword held like this, pointed down to his feet. And in that moment, you recall that lost across the combat, Abraham did move to refer to this ridge. When you asked for a name, he kind of hesitated. And it just comes to your mind, he did call this ridge Hudson Ridge before he hesitated.
Oh, damn.
In my mind, this is a great idea.
So, I search the figure. Is it only Is it only a sword on the armor? Or...
So we're okay. As you begin examining this corpse,
Does it move? Doesn't move, right?
That would be horrifying.
As you move it, it moves. As you disturb the corpse, it looks to be a figure wrapped in kind of clothes and had ceremonial armor put on with a sword. It's a military coffin. It's a military burial.
Does the armor look strange?
Kind of. I neatly unwrap it.
No. So it's a man in armor, and
Okay.
underneath the armor, he's got wrappings on. Yeah,
Oh,
the man
okay.
isn't wrapped up himself.
Okay. So this armor. So is it? What sort of armor?
It's
Is it
ceremonial armor, the kind of armor that looks very nice, but is it very good in combat?
And the
Who
sword?
knows? Sword's a sword. It's a sword. Looks like a long sword.
Is there any like signs on it, or like like emblems, or?
As you examine it, can you roll an intelligence check, please?
That is a 7. That is a great. No, just a normal success. Sorry. Oh wait. 7's great success. At 14.
There looks to be engraving down the length of the swords, and it's a bit strange. It's like reading Shakespeare a little bit. This is a dialect a few hundred years old. It's a bit, it doesn't look like modern Agavon or Low Agavon.
I use bardic knowledge on it.
Yeah, as you use bardic knowledge, roll a charisma check.
11, which is a success.
As you both examine it, it looks to be something like Savior of the Legion, Savior of West Point, Savior of the Coast.
He sounds important, this dude.
Sounds
and
familiar.
And Storble, as you use bardic knowledge, there is a small part at the end in Scorn. Friend of a saint.
Friend of a... What does that even mean?
Storble, you can't read. How are you doing bardic knowledge on this? You're engulfed in this kind of information. You speak the words aloud. You look back at it as the inspiration leaves, and you're looking at mindless chatter, mindless symbols. But you speak the words aloud. Friend of a saint.
Oh, I love Storble.
But Storble, as you speak them aloud in Scorn, because that's how it's worked. So Ravik, you just hear Storble say the words in Scorn, friend of a saint.
I just look straight at him. I'm like, what did you just say?
No idea. Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, really? What did it mean?
Friend of a saint. What are you talking about?
It says it on the sword, I think.
Ilander, is there something you wanted to...
Question. I know I've been, like, the whole Hudson thing. Because my reach of history.
Sure. I mean, this is less theistic, so it's slightly out of your wheelhouse. It's not elven and it's not religious. It's not even really arcane. But it's well known in West Point. There are stories of the legendary Gabriel Hudson. He's well revered. He has a square named after him. His family line, he came from nothing and basically became the hero of West Point. He was pivotal in saving the city by withdrawing, enacting a long withdrawal of forces to the city itself, so that as stability and control was lost elsewhere, West Point could call upon its legion to protect its borders.
So he was the Hadrian of West Point, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So I probably would have some knowledge about him as well.
You would have a limited amount of knowledge, sure. Ilander being much more well read on these kinds of topics, but Ravik, you've heard the name. Hudson is one of the names. It's like hearing the name Bonaparte or Julius Caesar. It's like everyone knows the name.
And how about me from being from the Enclave? That background.
Roll an intelligence check.
No, two.
This guy is bad news for the Enclave.
Yeah.
Of course he was.
I mean, in all the stories that you've heard about Artreus being your preferred Enclave founder, Gabriel Hudson is the main antagonist of all of those stories. And it's like the legendary clashes of Artreus and Hudson, and how Hudson was, this and that and the other, and how Artreus outsmarted him at every turn, and that kind of thing.
I knew it. I knew we should never trust West Point.
I know Yuri's only told me about Obel recently, but in the stories he used to tell me, did any of the Scorn stories cross over with Hudson at all?
Roll a d20. Just give me a straight d20 roll.
12.
So You don't recall any of his stories as like children's stories, things that you grew up with. None of those seem to mention Hudson outside of the stories about Hudson and what he did for the city and the limited knowledge you have. Other than that, didn't seem to cross over.
I think you may have stumbled across a very important man. So is his sword still in the thing, yeah?
Yeah, he's holding his sword with his cold, dead rigor mortis hands.
Can I try and pick it up?
You absolutely can. How delicately are you doing this?
I mean, I'm pretty dexterous, so I'm trying to like release his fingers and then slide it out.
Cool. As you interact with the corpse, I need you to roll a luck constitution check.
So luck's 10 plus constitution, so it's 12.
Cool.
It's a natural 8, so that succeeds.
Your luck is reduced by 1. With the luck check, so you you don't gain a disease from interacting with a 100 centuries old corpse. Now roll a straight dexterity sleight of hand check.
13. That's
fantastic. So it's not great. You like you maybe snap one of the fingers a bit far back. Adrian's kind of looking with a frown at what's going on, doesn't move to intervene. Tennyson's like, who are you? Oh, that guy's dead. I don't, and kind of looks at you, Storble, looks at, are we doing this? Is this what we are? Is this who you?
Actually, Tennyson, did you hear what Storble just said before?
I heard words come out of his mouth. Is he always like this?
Oh, of course. Sorry. You don't understand. On that sword is written in scorn that the previous bearer, I assume, which is Hudson, Gabriel Hudson, was a friend of a saint.
Right.
Do you know anything about this? As a knight of Saint Opal?
Well, if this man kind of pauses for a second and looks. Yeah. I feel we should leave this alone. This is and as you're kind of picking at the weapon, Ilander, you manage to pry it. If you pull now, it's free. As Tennyson says, I think we should leave this alone. You have the opportunity to pull.
Okay. I think we do.
You pull it straight out. The hands kind of flop up and then flop back down. And you are holding this long sword. And it is a beautifully crafted, elegant weapon that's got this masterful engraving in Agavon and also a little bit of scorn.
Elegant weapon from a more civilized age.
Absolutely. And it seems to shine. And Ravik, you cock your head as this blade is kind of wielded by Ilander, who, due to your elven heritage, is able to wield long swords. Tennyson's like, I don't think we should have disturbed this man. If this man is who I think he is, we should have left this well alone.
What's he gonna do, amigo? He's dead.
Yeah, but there's a reason that we bury people. There's a reason that we allow it. Kind of looks at you, Ilander, with a little bit of disdain, almost a little bit of trepidation.
It is interesting that he was buried in an unmarked grave miles out of the city when he was such a hero, right?
See.
Well, that's true. I mean, if the others are... This man really was friends with St. Obel, then I feel it would be more respectful to have left it alone.
Maybe you should put that back, Ilander.
Ilander, you are a cultist of the Sidereal Elves. Can you roll a willpower check for me, please?
That is a 19. That's a fail.
You have lost favor. You have disturbed the grave of an ancient hero. And you feel, even as this sword is held in your hands, you feel that in the pit of your stomach, perhaps this time, there was a reason that it was buried here, and there was a reason that Abraham had said to rally here, and maybe it was all linked, and you've disturbed the grave. And now you have an open coffin with a dug up fire pit in the rally point that Abraham had mentioned. And Ravik, as you turn to look, there's just a man in the distance slowly walking towards you.
Now that he's a bit closer, can I make anything else out?
He's well armored. It's impossible to see if he's human or Scorn. He seems to be wearing heavy armor.
Is it reminiscent of the armor of the Legion?
Roll a d20.
2.
Yeah, except it seems to be luminous.
I really think you should put that sword down.
See, yeah, let's just put it back, cover the brick grave, and hope for the best.
Ilander, as you swing this blade around, you kind of get a feel for it. This is a particularly not just a well-made weapon. This is a blade of rabbit steel. This weapon will crit on a 17.
I mean, I've failed.
You failed the willpower check. That willpower check was as to whether you got favor or not. But I will allow you to take it as a failure. You have the sword. It's in your hands.
Ilander, there's a man approaching us, and it looks like he's glowing. You should put that sword back.
Oh, he probably wants the sword.
Yes, but put it this way. This man is clearly not using it.
No. But did you not hear what I said? There's a glowing man walking towards us.
Yes, and while he was walking towards us before I even touched the sword, yes?
But he wasn't glowing before.
As Ravik mentions that he's glowing, I think Tristan would be intrigued by this and want to get closer and try and figure out what this is.
As you move to do so, your arm is caught by Adrian. Tristan, whatever these guys are doing, we need to head south. We were almost killed in the Citadel. And if we're being hunted, we need to move. We need to put as much distance as we can between us and that thing.
Adrian's right. We need to go. We've wasted too much time here. What are you going to do, Ilander?
Well, either way, we can't just leave the grave like this.
Agreed.
Sure.
Yes, we'll bury it.
And if we bury it back without the blade, this is Gabriel Hudson. This is a hero.
Well, you say hero, amigo, but the real pain in the
Gabriel
ass.
Hudson. This man is the reason. You're an Enclave guy.
See.
I say we put the blade back.
But it's doing him no good, would you say?
I don't think
Not
the
like
blade's...
we've desecrated the corpse. We've simply taken something that would be useful to us.
I feel like this is grave robbing. I think this fits the definition of grave robbing quite neatly. And look, I have my own priorities. I'm not going to interfere. The hero that he was, he's not a member of the Knights, so he's not my primary concern. But I will say, go on, Stubble.
If we give it back later on, surely it'll be fine.
I feel like we're working on borrowed time.
Sorry, Tennyson. Is it not your concern, seeing as he was a friend of your saint? Not just a knight of your order, but your saint.
My priorities supersede that of Hudson. He kind of looks to Adrian, and Adrian looks back to him. There are pieces in play. Look, whatever you're going to do, we need to move. Storble, we need to go.
Oh, I'm right behind you. Just lead the
No,
way.
you're right in front of me, this way.
Okay.
And it kind of takes Storble. Adrian does the same thing with Tristan. We need to go. We do not have time for this. If they're going to have these petty squabbles over desecrating a grave, let it be for them. We need to get to Dahnundur.
I start putting the coffin back, by the way.
So you kind of put the lid back on. This was a nailed shut coffin. Zara, because of your strength, you were able to just tear it open, but it was a sealed coffin. So you can kind of put the lid back on, and there's also a pile of dirt where you've shoveled it out.
Can I... I was like, sacrifice like an arrow to like pin through it, you know?
It's a shame because that armor might have been useful as well. Well, I suppose that is a bit far. That really is desecrating the corpse then.
There is a
I'll give you
suit of armor on the body.
Huh?
I'll leave you two to it, and I'm going to follow the others.
Zara
Yeah.
and Illinder. Illinder, you leave with the blade.
Yep.
Okay. Zara, there is a suit of armor on the body of the mortal enemy of your order.
I think you should take his arrow. I think it'd be very useful.
I just stuff it in my backpack, like.
Zara, first, well, it's plate mail, so I need you to roll a d100, please, Zara. I need you to roll high.
85.
A 5.
85.
85. And, ooh, what is your dex modifier?
+3, I believe. And yes, it is, yes.
This armor is not fitted for you. But as you take it, you spend a few minutes, they head off, you spend a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so, you let them, and then you jog to catch up. You take this armor and you replace your light ranger armor, kind of, you see Jask looking at you, sniffing at the armor, like, this is old armor that's been on a corpse, but you've rolled the con check. It seems to be incredibly well preserved. It's not dirty at all. It is a set of full rabbit steel plate mail. It is armor class 15, and enemies fumble against you on a 1 to 3.
It was.
Love it.
There is now to do that, the corpse is now desecrated, the coffin is now open, like,
Is it not heavy armor?
it is heavy armor, yeah. Base armor class of 15, yeah.
Is Zara not a ranger?
I think Zara's cross-classed into fighter, so
So you get that as well? I thought
would
just
you
get the
actually that's true. I don't know if you'd be able to wear straight up heavy armor.
That's why I was like capping on my backpack.
So you can put on like the breastplate and put the yeah, you can. So
Just
you can put on a
temporarily.
breastplate.
Like,
You can have, so if you put on part of it, you can kind of fashion it. So it's medium armor, but it counts as rabbit steel. So you're basically wearing leather armor with a rabbit steel breastplate, which means enemies crit on a 1 to 3.
Sort of half plate.
Sort of half plate, yeah. The rest of it you pack up. You're about 10 minutes behind, so you and Jask kind of. I need you to roll a perception wilderness law check, please, Zaro.
There's 12 success, or +1 11, so it's success.
Fantastic. So you sprint. You start moving off into the jungle. What have you? Yeah, you've left the coffin open then because you haven't had time to bury it.
Try to shut it, but yeah.
You shut it. You just put the lid back on, and you start running. So you're going to be running. Storble, Ravik, Tristan, Inlander. For the next 10 minutes or so, you're marching south. Is there anything in particular you'd like to be doing?
Are there anyone in that have been heading this way, like civilians?
There's no one
Probably.
around you or near you. No one seems to be heading straight south into the forest.
Okay.
That guy that's glowing, is he still following us?
You're in the tree line now. You've kind
Actually-
of moved into the tree line. It's not clear.
Actually, from the point of me leaving the coffin,
Yeah.
can I activate Veteran Scout?
To do what?
Basically, for 1d6 minutes, yeah, the ranger, my companion, I'll leave no tracks, ignore armor penalties, and move stealthily without slowing my movement.
You may spend
So
a point.
Basically, no tracks is my priority. But
no tracks, no worries.
If he's glowing, I probably wouldn't worry about that because he's probably tracking us by the. It's such a bad idea, but I feel like, yeah.
Okay. You continue to head south. You are now traveling through the forest.
I want to make sure my sniper's loaded, by the way, because I know I shot before.
That's fine. You can load the weapon. That's not a problem. Tristan, you watch. Adrian is flicking a coin and just walking through, catching the coin. Storble, you see that Tennyson is staying very close to you. Just staying close to you. After a few minutes, you hear movement in the brush behind you, and as you turn, ready to face whatever comes, you see Zaro and Jask kind of move out from the tree line and rejoin the party and continue traveling south. As you do so, please can one of you, whoever is leading the party, roll a d20.
Well, Storble and Tennyson went first, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Tennyson should do it.
Okay. All right.
Storble, you do it.
Unless you want me to do it, I'll.
You want to?
Yeah, Storble, you do it. Oh, actually, wait. I was. Oh, go on, do it.
What we're rolling, Jack?
A d20, please.
That's a 17.
If he said 14, I saw.
It was a 13, wasn't it?
A 17. That was 17.
Oh no, is it bad? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As you're walking, as you're moving through the thick forested areas, can you all roll a perception check, please?
Natural 1.
That one.
It's a fail.
12 success.
Failure.
So Tristan, did you succeed as well?
Yeah, that one.
2 nat ones. So Zaro, you and Tristan are both kind of walking, and you examine Adrian for a moment, and you see that as he's walking down his left leg, there are streaks and trickles of blood. He doesn't seem to be doing anything particular. He seems to be walking and meeting the pace, but he seems to be bleeding somewhat profusely from his left leg.
Yeah, call attention to it. Master, what happened? Why didn't you say you were injured?
Well, I doubt there's much we can do at this time, Tristan. I can stave it off for a moment, but we need to get to Dahnundur as quickly as possible. And he moves to lift his robes to show his left leg. Ravik, you see that he, at some point in fleeing or moving or running at some point, he's received a gunshot wound of some kind to the leg.
Oh. Okay. I'll approach him and I say, do you mind if I take a closer look?
He kind of pauses for a moment. Well, I suppose if you know what you're doing. And he kind of stops and you can examine the wound.
I want to see, is there an exit wound?
As you examine it more closely, can you roll an intelligence apothecary check, please, Ravik?
Disadvantage, I got an 11, which is a fail.
You examine the wound. This is not like your weapon. This is not like a standard weapon. This is some kind of blunderbuss or scatter shot weapon. There are some exit wounds, but you don't know. You look and you're not sure. And just so now we're all aware, you've entered a party challenge, and that is one failure.
Your party challenge?
Adrian is injured, and he's only revealing this now. You've entered a party challenge to assist or mend or rectify the injury, and that is one failure.
I look around, and after doing that, I want to tell everyone. There are some exit wounds, but there could be some shrapnel still within his leg, which could easily become infected. This probably needs to be dealt with sooner rather than later.
It's kind of... Well, I was hoping to get slightly further than this, if I'm honest. And Tristan, for the first time in your life, there was a slight pallor to Adrian's dark skin.
That shouldn't be a problem. Show us your injury.
As you examine the injury, Dahnundur, actually, Dahnundur, based on everything that's just happened, I'm actually going to need you to roll a charisma check for Adrian to allow you to examine the injury.
That's a file.
Adrian, as you approach, he kind of holds a hand up. It's like, no, Dahnundur, I don't think that someone who's just handled a corpse should handle an injury like this. And he's sitting down now, leaning back against a tree.
Do I know of like any like healing herbs? You know, like herbs that help.
Roll an intelligence wilderness law check, Zaro.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's
And do a
7.
check like
7, which is a great success, actually.
Great success.
Just about.
Not to be a pain, but if it's party challenge, hasn't intelligence already been used?
Technically, yes, but because it's wilderness law instead of apothecary, I thought I'd show a little bit of mercy.
Okay.
But yes, you are able to. You think of some, and you head off Zaro into the wilderness to pick certain herbs. Meanwhile, there's more blood now. Now that you've stopped moving, and there's blood kind of dripping from this wound to the floor.
Storble, sing him a comfort song.
That's what I was just thinking about.
You used charisma this round, technically.
Oh no.
Oh, that's 2 fails now then.
That's 2 fails. 3 failures is a critical failure.
Wait, so what did Zaro get? Oh, success.
Zaro got a great success. So you've got 2 successes and 2 failures. You don't know how many successes you need, but it looks like a bad injury.
And what Zaro did, charisma, was it?
Zaro and Ravik both did intelligence, but I let them off.
Okay.
Dahnundur did charisma.
Ah, okay.
Do you have to touch someone for Solace of Argania?
Yes, I believe the range is touch, yes.
Alright, well, drop you in. I tried.
Tristan?
everything that I prepped for has already been used by the others.
I will allow you to use. Well, it depends. Is there anything in particular you want to do?
Well, hunt the shrapnel out. Dexterity.
Yeah, that's true.
Need a knife.
Roll a dexterity check to try and locate and remove shrapnel.
Yeah, I'll try and do that then.
Roll a d20.
Kind of knife. It's on Tom's head, whether it kills him or not.
No, that's a 9. That's a success.
So you are able to locate some bullets, some small shot, and you extract at least some of it, Tristan. You don't know if you've got all of it. Storble.
So what else can I use? So
Strength, Constitution, willpower, and perception.
I'll go with one of the first three then. Any skills in particular?
Well, the only other skill that's listed is willpower to use.
Can I boost morale? Like,
how would you do that without rolling a charisma check?
That would.
Have you got an instrument that you can dexterity? Oh no, you do.
I have no idea.
You could provide support to the leg, perhaps, with either strength or.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Try to you could prop Adrian up into a more comfortable position, potentially, into a favorable. You could potentially hold Adrian so the others can work better.
Okay, yeah, I'll hold him, keep him comfortable.
Strength athletics check.
16, which is just wait. Was it athletics?
Yep.
That's a foul.
No!
Do you have athletics?
No.
Oh.
It's one off.
It's what?
So I just want to say, Storble rolled the injury, and then he rolled third failure on the party check.
Don't let Storble roll again.
And as Storble, as you move to lift Adrian, you no, not like that, mate, not like that. I don't think that's going to help me. Thank you for trying, mate. And he kind of and leans back on the tree. Kind of looks down at his leg. Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. This isn't particularly good. But I suppose it's right in some ways. Listen. I'm not going to be able to keep going like this. I think it would be best if I saved my energy. There's someone after you. I'll wait here for him. I'll prep an ambush. And if everything goes well, we can meet in Dahnundur.
We need you, Adrian. I'll carry you if I need to.
That's sweet of you, Revik, but you can tell, even without apothecary, you can tell that none of you have a medical kit, and he's been bleeding for the past few hours. It's going to take a little bit of you carrying me, mate.
I can bind your wounds. I've got cloth in my bag.
Well, I'd appreciate the thought, but I don't know if that's quite going to cut it, mate.
Yes, he's still got shrapnel in his system. So carrying him further would just aggravate it. Probably moving in closer to his heart and eventually killing him.
Thank you, Linda.
I did try to help him.
Well, the one who's got so much medical knowledge was going to use corpse hand to touch an open wound.
His hand. And I like, as I say this, they start glowing a little bit.
Yeah, and as you look at them, you see the claws seem to be on the tips of your fingers that went wrong. As they glow, the claws seem to be almost liquefying, and something is happening to them. But Dahnundur is not sure what. And you know that you've recently lost favor, and that the claws on your hands seem to be slowly dissolving.
Yeah. See, definitely could have helped. I just sort of look really unnerved and start looking away, just looking at my hands.
And he kind of looks up to Tennyson, nods. And Tennyson frowns and nods back at the monk on the floor, and looks up at you, Dristan. Well, look. Kind of flips coin that he's still got. Balance can't be out of whack for too long. You've kept me alive this long. I was supposed to die in West Point, and I didn't. When two things that are supposed to happen spread too far apart, they tend to snap back together. Look, I can hang around here, but whatever's coming is coming for you all. If it was anything like what we fought in the Citadel, it's not going to be slowed down by things like sleep or eating. Which means it's still coming even as you stop and talk with us now. It needs to be stopped.
I'm gonna take out my clothes from my bag and I'm gonna start tearing them up into makeshift bandages. I'm gonna give them to him. You need these. It'll give you more of a fighting chance.
As this is going on, can you all roll a perception check, please?
13, just success.
Success.
7, great success.
Ancient dice. These suck because I failed.
Total failure. Okay.
Those of you who succeeded can hear the sound of footsteps, unnervingly close.
Does a great success affect that at all?
Yeah. On a great success, the sound of the footsteps, there's a smell in the air. There's like on a great success, Ravik, your teeth buzz.
Whoever it is, they're close. I look to Adrian, and I look to Tristan and say, we're not going to leave you here to deal with this alone. They're already here. Let's do this together.
Well, if we're going to do it that way, then let's at least. And he moves to stand a little bit. If I'm going to leave you anywhere. Okay. And where you've stopped, you can hear the sounds of running water. And there is a darkness under the canopy. He kind of looks up at all of you. Right. Well, if this is what we're doing, then this is what we're doing. And he moves to stand with you. Give me just one momentino.
This is happening, and he's here. Can I cast Blessed Weapon on my new Yankee sword?
Absolutely. So, what happens is, as Adrian makes to stand, under the dark canopy of the trees, you can see that blood has trickled into the water as you cross, and there is a small trail of blood. To your east, there is a waterfall. And to your north, on the other side of the water, you see a suit of armor with subtle, looks like the suit from before, but now with runes enshrined and glowing with a deep purple haze the Imperial Hunter steps forward. Illinder, you may bless the weapon as you called it out first, but now I please need everyone to roll initiative.
Can you do that without favor?
Illinder, you need to roll a willpower check as you bless the weapon.
That's cool. That's a great.
Fine. You managed to cast the spell without receiving a divine rebuke.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's dangerous.
I just love the fact that I failed a willpower check. That's amazing.
It was great. Adrian stands and he moves to the front of you, and you can see that he's put all his weight on one leg, and he's lifted his wounded leg in the air and swept his arms wide. Dristan, you recognize this as the stance of the crane. So great successes.
Yep, out of 5.
Okay. Zaro, the Imperial Hunter is just walking straight towards you. What do you do?
Go for a shot. A ranger.
Roll to hit.
+1 arrow. Yes. Rolled a 17. That's 22.
You fire the arrow, and it explodes against the suit of armor. And you hear a growl from Jask at your side, sniffing and looking at you, eyes burning green, which indicates the presence of powerful magic.
Are you sure you want to stay around, guys? This is not gonna be fun.
Any other great successes? Okay, in that case, here's what's going to happen. Illinder, you rolled a great success.
Yeah.
As an off-turn action, 5, 10, 15. The Imperial Hunter walks down into the water and re-emerges the other side. So the water dripping from it has slowed it down, but it re-emerges the other side of the lake. Illinder.
I want to cast a fiery furnace on it.
Fantastic. I need you to roll a luck intelligence save, Illinder.
Do I have to do my thingy first?
No, this is an elven ability, not a cultist ability.
No, a DDM check.
DDM check. You absolutely need to roll DDM.
I rolled greater than a 0, so yes, we're good.
Your DDM resets to 1. Did I give you the reset to 0?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Your DDM is now 1. Okay,
Cool.
That's not a problem. And now I need you to roll a luck intelligence check.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a success.
Your luck is reduced by 1, and you cast the spell. So, Illinder, how does this look? This is the first time you've successfully cast this.
So, in between my hands, I just form this look at this 10-pointed star that I like, sort of, and it beams out bright, and then I push it, and it goes flying out of my hand straight into his chest.
It explodes. This Imperial Hunter takes 2d6 damage, please, Illinder.
That's 10 damage.
10 points of damage. Thank you very much. And all around it, the grass and the tree begins burning with black flame. And as you did this, it sacrificed its off-turn attack. It pointed an arm up at you, and there was a flash and an explosion of energy. Illinder, you managed to resist it, but this thing just fired a wave of anti-arcane energy at you.
Interesting.
But it sacrificed its off.
At least.
You've hurt it. Where Zaro's arrow bounced off, you seem to have dealt damage.
Good.
But you had to struggle. This wave of energy, it tried to snuff out your fireball, but you managed to resist it. Okay, any successes? Ravik, what would you like to do?
I am going to switch to owl form.
What does this look like, Ravik?
Ooh. What does it look like? That's a good question. I don't know. Can someone look more wise?
So as your eyes begin to widen, where before they were wolf-like and lupine, now they widen, and you kind of look around. Everyone's, whoa! Your eyes are way too big, and they glimmer with natural energy. What would you like to do, Ravik, as you shift into owl form?
I'm going to cast Channel Lightning on this thing.
And you are outside.
Yes.
It's going to sacrifice an off-turn attack. I need you to roll a luck willpower check as your spell casting stat. So a luck willpower check.
All right then. Hold on. Right. Okay. Oh, do I get a reroll on this? I rolled
You may
one
use
off.
a reroll die. You may use a reroll die on luck checks.
Okay. Come on. That's more like it. 3.
Your luck is reduced by 1. How does this look, Ravik, as you channel lightning?
So, I just reach up towards the sky, and a cloud forms, pulsing with electric energy. Also, he's just walked out of the water.
So I will give you advantage on the damage roll as he's soaking wet.
Nice.
So you roll 2d8 twice and give me the higher of the 2 results.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I rolled a 2 and a 4, and I re-rolled, and I got 2 8s.
What?
Yes.
16.
16 points of damage. Fantastic. As this energy streaks from the sky. What color is your lightning, Ravik?
Ooh, green.
Green lightning falls from the sky, and it moves its hand up, but before it even sends the wave of negative energy, it's recoiling with the static charge. On that note, Adrian is going to look at the rest of you. He's going to say, right, that's valiant, and I appreciate it, but you really need to get out of here. And he's going to pull at the energy around him, and he's going to pull from the river, and his hands become wreathed with liquid, which then forms into shards of ice. And he's going to 25. He's going to roll a miss and a hit. 2 and a 1. As that happens, he needs to roll a luck check. He fails. So as he runs up, this energy, he moves to hit, and as it makes contact, the ice shatters, and his normal fist bounces harmlessly off the armor. Any other successes? Okay, if there's no other successes,
I got a success.
Dristan, you got a success. Adrian has just unsuccessfully attacked this creature.
Oof. I'm out of 30 feet range, aren't I?
Yeah, you can charge.
Guys, would we agree that we're not going to leave your master die
Ravik,
alone?
I need a DDM check as well, sorry.
Oh, of course, yeah, sorry. And you're absolutely right, Linda.
Just checking with the group. I mean, I didn't film to be right.
Yeah. I rolled an 8, which is fine.
Okay, your DDM increases by 1. Tristan.
Right, I'm going to move forward 20 feet, so I'm like near the river, but diagonally.
Yeah?
Oh no, to the right as well. There's 20 feet to the...
I think you can get there, yeah? 2, 3, 4, you were here. Yep.
Alright. I'm then going to summon what seems to be a water spear from the water and throw it at the Imperial Hunter.
Fantastic. The Imperial Hunter is going to sacrifice its off-turn attack. You need to roll a luck. I believe willpower is your modifier, Tristan.
Oh, that's 14. Okay. It's a 3. So
Your luck is reduced by 1. Roll to hit.
Nat 19.
As you roll the nat 19, I need a DDM check.
Yay!
Oh no, is this
It's
true?
a druid point, yeah.
Oh, your DDM goes up by 1, you don't roll a check. On a nat 19.
It's with water, so my target suffers disadvantage on the next roll.
On their next roll.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. There's something I should have said. Okay, we'll come out with this. That's fine. I've been too kind to you. I've forgotten about an ability, but that's okay. So it has disadvantage on its next roll. Full stop.
Yeah, that's what water does.
2d6 plus 3, please.
Those two, be kind. 6 damage.
Okay. I sacrificed this off-turn attack to do that. You see, now that it's taken some magical damage, the runes on it seem to intensify in their glow. Any other successes? Okay. Tennyson. It's going to 5, 10, 15, 20. Storable. Look, I know it's valiant what the master's doing, but we need to get you to Dahnundur.
I'll do that. We've got to save Adrian.
Storable, whatever the rest of them do, we've got to get you out of here.
No, we can't let Adrian stay here.
Storable, you've got to get out of here.
No, I need to stay here for a little bit.
You wanna get him out of here? Help us kill that thing.
Kind of looks at you for a second, Ravik. Pleasure. And he kind of turns, his eyes glow yellow, and he channels energy, and he needs to roll a save, which he also, I can't believe he fails it as well. 4 bolts of energy seem to glow in front of him, and he fires them all at this creature, and as they wither and die, it's like when you hit a force field. It's like that Independence Day when all the missiles hit the force field. None of them actually make physical contact. And as that happens, disadvantage. Okay. He managed, yeah. The Imperial Hunter resists it, and the runes seem to grow in their luminescence. He sacrificed his off-turn attack to do that, so any failures on initiative.
Yeah.
Storble, it is your action.
I want to move up to and diagonal northeast 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to let out a rallying cry for Adrian.
And what does this do to 8? So +3.
Yeah.
So on Adrian's next turn, +3/+3. And that's the end of the round. Yeah. So I need everyone. Oh, Imperial Hunter is going to get an
Wait,
off
what
turn.
about Zaro?
Zaro.
Zaro.
Yeah, Zaro opened.
Right.
Before the next round, because he didn't actually get his own attack, the Imperial Hunter is going to roll a nat 1. The Imperial Hunter rolls 2 nat 1s in a row. However, Adrian does not currently have any magical weapons attached. So as he punches, you see Adrian deftly weaving and dodging. But as he attacks, his return blows don't seem to do anything to the Imperial Hunter. Everyone, please roll initiative.
It's
It's a great success.
Success.
I failed.
It's a great success.
Okay, Illander, Dristan, Storble. You may not coordinate because of off-turn attacks, but you have initiative. Illander, Dristan, or Storble.
I'm happy for you guys to go first.
I'm gonna charge in if I go first. So if you've got range stuff. Okay. I'm gonna go around the side of the riverbed towards the Imperial Hunter.
Here, yeah.
Staff of Water.
Okay, you summon the staff to water.
Can I activate 2 monk points at the same time?
To do what?
Hidden Self and Drunken Master.
Drunken Master is a stance.
I'll do that then.
Drunken Master is basically permanently active as a
great.
stance.
Great.
So you can, so it's not. So you just use the 1 point for, what is it?
Hidden Self.
Fantastic. Roll a DDM check.
It's a 5. That's a pass.
Okay, your DDM increases by 1, and with Hidden Self, you create another version. You create another you, yeah.
Yes, I think I can have up to 2.
Oh, is it another 2 yous? Okay.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Really cool.
As this happens, though, Dristan, I need you to roll a luck willpower check. You have disadvantage on this check.
Oh, cool. Okay. First one's 2. That one's cocked. That's an 11. That's a pass.
Your luck is reduced by 1. Hidden Stealth, multiple versions, Sorcerer's Misdirection. Okay, one moment. Let me bring up Sorcerer's
2d6
Misdirection.
rounds. If it does work, it lasts for 7 rounds.
2 images of the caster. Yep. So there are currently 3 Dristans surrounding this creature. Dristan, roll to hit. It sacrifices off-turn attack, and you were able to resist it even at disadvantage. You see its runes are it's still glowing brightly.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay, roll me some damage. 2d6 plus 3. Plus 1. 2d6 plus 4.
So that's 4, 5. That's 9 damage.
9 points of damage. Fantastic. He sacrifices off-turn attack. Other great successes, Illander and Storble.
So, how far can I get with my movement towards him?
You can 30 feet, so 6 squares.
Can I move all the way to him then? And I want to...
That's 30 feet.
Ooh.
You can charge. It will give you a +2 to hit, but his next attack on you will be with advantage.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay.
I think I'm going to use my last cultist ability to try and cast Sever Arcanum on him.
I need you to... Okay, before anything, roll a willpower check.
Sure. That's a great success.
Okay. Your DDM increases by 1. It's going. Okay. First, I need you to roll a luck, just a straight intelligence check.
Natural 1.
Fantastic. Now I need you to roll a luck intelligence check at disadvantage.
Got a 4 and an 8. So, dot.
You rolled a
6.
4 and an 8 at disadvantage.
Yeah. 7 now. But just on my luck. Is that a failure or a...
That's a success. Your luck is reduced by 1. Sever Arcanum, man. And you see it relays this bolt of energy. It stiffens. And you see that as you channel this energy, it overcomes other waves of energy trying to interfere with it. The hunter seems to stiffen. The runes on its body cease to glow. It stands bolt upright and falls straight backwards onto the ground.
Is Sever... Sorry, I'm missing this. Is Sever Arcanum concentration or is it a length?
Sever Arcanum, I believe it suppresses it for an amount of time. So, one momentino. Yes, I need you to roll 2d6, please.
So it's a 6 and a 2 to 8.
8 rounds.
Does end magical effects though? This is pressed as magical items.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Well done, Melinda. Fantastic. Whatever you did seemed to work very well. I want to run over.
As this happens, you hear a voice in your mind. That was impressive. It's been so long since I've had something to amuse me in this way. I think I'll accept this round. But don't worry, I'll leave you a gift. I hope you enjoy it.
Run, run. Run. Everyone, run. Don't tell me how I know this, but I know this.
Okay,
Run.
Hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Zaro, Tennyson, and Ravik, you are safe. Adrian, Dristan, Storble, and Illinder, I need luck dexterity saves.
Oh no.
I can do that. I can.
Okay. I've got to hit an 11. 8. Yes.
I got an 8.
I don't have enough
Pass.
physical dice.
I'm using a reroll.
You may use a reroll for sure.
I could have soloed that thing for sure. I think.
I found.
You failed, Storble.
Yeah.
Can I perform a rescue?
Okay. Storble, you failed.
Yep.
Okay. On a fail, that is 35 hit points of damage.
Okay.
But we'll come back to you, Storble. Illinder, on a success, that is 17 hit points of damage.
Oh.
Brilliant. I'm out.
Dristan. Okay, Dristan, on a success, that is 17 hit points of damage.
I'm out.
Adrian looks at you, Dristan. Looks at the body on the ground and sees that it begins to glow deep, vicious red. All the runes have lit up red, but this does not seem to be the item. This is coming from somewhere else. Illinder clocked it and turned to run. Adrian looks at you, Dristan, looks at the thing on the floor, and moves swiftly. Instead of diving away, he pulls and wraps water all around you. You are encased in a liquid shell, and you are pushed so that you are next to this rock as Adrian steps up to where you were, and directly above this creature there is an explosion of flame. As this happens, Tennyson is going to roll a natural 1. Tennyson, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, is going to run here. Illinder and Storble, grabs Storble for sure. On a natural 1, he can grab both of you. Gets you, his eyes glow brilliant orange, pulls you to the ground, and a barrier of effervescent yellow energy appears in front of you as the flames rupture against the shell. Adrian, you watch as Dristan, you watch as Adrian flips a coin high into the air, and there is an explosion of pyromantic energy. As a 12th level fireball explodes in the vicinity. The coin is now ash deep within the ground. The coin flies up into the air. It lands on the soil. It is now covered in char and darkness. Adrian took 70 hit points of damage. He took your hit and his own hit. He did not have 70 hit points.
Good to know.
You hear a voice in your mind again, Illinder. I think we're going to have some fun, you and I. That's just a taster. Tristan, you are currently caught on the rock, the moving channel of the river. Tennyson is kind of kneeling on the ground, exerted at having performed this rescue action, spent with this energy. There is no sign of Adrian. There is no sign of the armor.
So am I down at the moment, or am I?
You received a rescue action on a natural 1 from Tennyson. You received no damage. You were protected by a veil of orange energy, yellow-orange energy that Tennyson threw up between you and the explosion. on a natural 1. That was
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
He kind of kneels on the ground. He turns to you. Storble, are you okay?
Thanks to you. That was amazing. Thank you so much. That was just
Cool. I'm glad. He kind of moves to stand. Right. Are we agreed now? We need to move.
Is there anything left of Thingy's body?
There is nothing. There is nothing. There is no sign of the armor. There is no sign of the body. There is no sign of anything.
I walk up to the river where Justin is and I extend a hand. Try and help him out.
Justin?
I say nothing. I go over to where his body should be. Was the coin there?
The coin has landed on the ground, but with the rough terrain and everything there, it's like it's fallen, obscured, hidden in ash. And only because you saw where it fell, you can rush it and find that it's landed both hidden and at a diagonal, caught in the ash. And then falling from high in the air, carried balefully on a gust of wind that none of you had felt. A hat lands on your head, Tristan. If she's got one, she's got more. Tristan, Storble, all of you, we need to go. You know the way to Dahnundur, right, Tristan? So, Tennyson walks up to you and takes your shoulders, Tristan. You know the way to Dahnundur. You've got to get us there. We need to go.
Give him a minute.
Yes,
He never loved anyone.
For pity's sake, give him a moment.
If anything, amigo, I will find it. Give him some rest.
Tennyson kind of looks at you, Tristan. You can have as long as you need. Trust me, I know what this is like. We can't do this here. Tennyson lets you go, steps back to Storble. You may all take a short rest.
How many hit points do you get back?
Half of your maximum plus your Constitution modifier.
No, cool.
Half of the difference between your current maximum. So if you have a maximum of 20 and your current hit points are 10, you get 5.
I rolled 2 19s and a 16. I failed all 3.
All 3 willpower checks. Do you have a con modifier?
I already used it last time.
Okay. You still feel the resonating effects from this null energy that was emanated from.
Sorry, I've got 19 willpower right now. Never mind.
You succeed on all 3 checks.
Oh,
I thought 19 was a
form
failure either way.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
I'll take one success if 19 is always
I mean,
a fail.
the fact that you're in that, I will allow it. If you have 19 on a stat, 19 can be, I'll bend the rule. You can have it. Don't worry. That's fine.
Cheers.
It's just, because you're in owl form, you can have it.
I want to remember this because I've got a 19 dexterity.
Yeah, but you've permanently got 19 dexterity. Ravik has a bit of a situation where he blends it around a little bit. So,
let's make a move.
Give me that back. Then I'm done. So, if you use your constitution, you said you can use that on one. Does that add does that add the amount of dice that you use your constitution? Does that make sense?
So the way it works is whatever your constitution modifier is, you get that many extra rolls per day.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I took 4 and succeeded all of them because I've got a 2 will left plus
Excellent.
9 plus 2 con.
Excellent. Yep. So if you took the 2 rest with 2 points of constitution, so you can't use those constitution rolls now until tomorrow, because you've used them now, but that's fine. Yep.
I'm going to heal my hit points to 18.
Okay.
I'm on 12 to 8. Oh yeah, what was the real thing where we get the extra hit point? 1d4 extra hit point.
That was a healing
that's
kit.
if you have a med kit.
So, yeah.
Really need to make it.
Yeah, we could do with one of them.
Cool. Amazing.
So, as it stands, the entity that was chasing you seems to have been staved off for now, but not without cost.
Finally got to kill him.
Ilinda, do you reveal anything about the encounter?
Was it two-way communication, or was she just speaking in my head?
It may have been two-way, but you didn't reply in the moment, and now it's not there, so you don't know.
Okay, because I wanted to. So much
in the moment, it kind of all happened quite quickly. So you definitely received, but you didn't manage to transmit. Whether that's because you can't, or because you just didn't in time, or you're not sure.
Okay.
No, I don't say anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Dristan and put my hand on his shoulder. He was a fine man. I'm truly sorry.
Then we got to get back on track, don't we?
That we do. Let's go.
At this, I say my final farewells to Adrian in my own tongue.
You speak in the Sabric tongue. Is there anything particular you say?
Thanking him for always looking out for me.
And you take the coin. As you continue south, you have several days' travel ahead of you. but without the immediate pressing threat of that suit of armor chasing you incessantly. You're able to make good time. You spend the next few days heading south. Over the course of the next couple of days, I believe, how many days rations did you get, Zara?
4.
4 days. Okay. So at the end of the 3rd day, you are well and truly out of food.
Well, as well, am I having to look for food on the way?
To the degree that you can. Otherwise, you in fact, Zaro has a container of some kind of food supplement. Have you examined that?
I would like to examine that if he makes me aware of it.
Yeah, I let you guys know that I found it in the little food safe.
It is some kind of jar food supplement.
Didn't Tennyson find food as well?
Tennyson found actual food, like jerky and dried meats.
Oh, by the way, as a half scorn, do I get anything from eating those?
It's +1 on your willpower checks for when you take a short rest. So the 19 is not a failure because you had a +1.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Fantastic. I'll take a look at that that supplement.
Can you roll a D100, please?
$73.
You smell it, and it smells not meaty, but delicious.
Oh. That's good.
Elendor, you take a sniff.
Roll a
Have I
D100.
have I not had this before?
You haven't, no.
Okay.
Can I take a little taste?
Take a little sniff, take a little taste. Roll a D100.
Oh, hang on, that was I rolled a D20 and a D10.
Not that one, please.
66.
Smells brilliant. Smells delicious. And you smell it, Illendur. Doesn't smell like meat. Smells like some kind of vegetable yeast spread extract thing.
I'd like to try and take some.
As you try it, it's the kind of thing, if you eked it out, it'd probably last a couple of days. You'd be a bit hungry, but it's something to eat.
This will keep us going. But in the meantime, have we stopped for the day?
Well, here's the thing. So Illendur is kind of scavenging for berries, but Illendur can eat this, whereas the rest of you can eat meat. Illendur doesn't seem to want to eat the meat.
Oh, we still have meat. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the point. You've got about 3 days worth. So as you travel, you've got about, the next 3 days as they begin to pass, you've got enough food to be comfortable for 3 days.
Justin, do you have any idea how much further it is to Dahnundur? You're muted, by the way.
What?
Roll an intelligence wilderness law check.
Yay. Nat 1. I don't even need to reroll.
Oh, wow. You don't know how long it is through the forest, but you know that once you're out of the forest, it's 3 days south.
Yeah.
Because you always know the forest is 3 days north, so the forest to Dahnundur is 3 days south.
So, whatever the case, we're going to run out of rations before we arrive, but hopefully we'll be able to make up for that with, several of us have expertise in, surviving. Okay.
Illendur, if you're going to be scavenging, I need you to roll an intelligence wilderness law check to cover the gathering and the berries and that kind of thing.
The 16 to failure.
Illendur, you might have to eat meat.
I go hungry.
If you go hungry, you suffer a -1 on your strength. Fine.
Why not? Why would I not?
Your strength is reduced by 1 as the pangs of hunger begin to well and truly set in. You're out of favor. You're hungry. You're not sure how you feel as you're traveling south in this situation.
Oh, I know how I feel. It's not good.
Indeed. This might be the first hard dose of humility you've ever been tried to force to swallow, and you are resisting with all of your might. You are now deep in the Steel Hollow Forest. You're well and truly inside the thick mire, and as you get to about 3 days worth of travel, Dahnundur, you're very hungry. You've got very few rations.
Can I not use that paste?
Well, is Ravik allowing you to use it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
If Ravik allows you to use the paste, you can offset the strength negative for the moment, so you can retain your strength as you're hungry, but you're not starving as you ration it out. But at the end of 3 days, you finished out the jar, the Marmite jar. Don't sue us, Marmite, but that's vegetable yeast extract jar. You finish it off.
They just mention it, can they?
I don't know.
Vegemite is Vegemite.
Vegemite. Don't sue us, Australia, with the terrible accents and also the. But as you are deep into the forest, you've been camping for a few days. You're moving south. You're all kind of a little bit beleaguered. Could someone please roll me a d20? Storble, how about?
No.
That's enough from Storble.
I'll take it if you're
quite enough.
Wow.
I don't mind. Just so Storble doesn't. What is it you want to roll?
A d20, please.
All right.
So over the course of these 3 days.
That's an 11.
Okay. You reach the end of 3 days and you set up camp. And you are tired. You're well into a journey that you hadn't really prepared for, things that you've seen for the past few days. The good news is there don't seem to be any other immediate monsters coming from the north. But otherwise, things are not entirely clear. All of you are just thinking of getting to Dahnundur as soon as you possibly can. As you continue south, Ravik, as you rolled, could you also roll another d20 for me?
Yeah. So 2.
Okay. Okay. D6. A 6 is Tennyson. It's a 2. Storble. Roll me a dex check, please.
Okay. That's a 10. No success.
As you're walking, Storble, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about the mighty flame that engulfed my comrades.
As you are deep in this, thinking about this powerful flame that you were saved from by Tennyson, who is walking next to you, but you don't really know him too well, but he's saved your life a couple of times now. He seems to be, every so often he's making sure you're okay. You stop, you stand still for a moment. You think about everything that's been going on, about Patek and how he's on the boat. And as you stop, you see a branch fall and crash immediately where you would have been had you continued walking in that moment. You look down, you look to your left, and there is a diseased tree from which a branch has fallen that you have avoided.
Oh, you're right there, Storble.
Yo, what happened here?
This tree. What's going on with that?
And you continue. All right. As we reach the end of your rations, with the memory of the death of Adrian so close in your mind, deep in the Steel Hollow forest. Is there anything in particular anyone would like to be doing?
Well, we've run out of rations, so the first thing I would like to do is go, well, hunting, I suppose.
But are we at Dahnundur now?
No,
Are
we're
we?
in the middle of the forest.
We're
Oh, in
still
that
the
case,
forest.
yeah, let's go hunting. Yeah,
Fantastic.
How about you and me, Zara?
let's do it, amigo.
Can I join you?
I thought
I mean,
you don't eat
you
meat.
can all go hunting. You haven't set up a camp, so you can all go on a bit of an expedition to hunt if that's what you want to do.
Why don't we do 2 parties?
Storbo, I
I
say
feel like
stay with Justin. Make sure he's okay. He needs rest. He needs to.
Oh, I'll stay with Tristan. It's fine.
yeah,
Fine.
the 3 of us, and then does Zara and myself, and then Stolen just. Let's go.
Okay. So who is the first party then? Zaro, who are you with? Zaro,
Ravik and Ilinda.
Ravik and Ilinda. As you head out on your own in one direction, Zaro, can you give me an intelligence wilderness lore check, please?
Yes, I can. And I rolled a 7. Great success.
Fantastic. What are you looking for? Animals, game, or fruits and nuts?
I'm looking for animals like deer, like menace. You know.
On a great success, you do find a game trail. And after a little while of walking, can you all roll a dexterity stealth check, please?
Yep, that's fine. Success. Yeah. My advantage as well. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
So I rolled an 18, which is a success.
That's a 2. Great success.
Fantastic. So, Ilinda, you're not used to trekking in this environment, but your natural litheness does come into play. And after a little while, Zaro, you find a deer at a small stream. Can you roll a D100, please?
11.
An 11.
Yes.
Roll a D20, please.
A natural 1. I don't know if that's really good or really bad.
The deer starts running at you and attacks.
Isn't it?
It's actually a werdeer.
Yeah.
As you approach this deer, you are hiding deep in thickets. And all of you, as you examine this deer, your vision begins to stray. Zara, you snap out of it. Are you looking to hunt the deer?
Yeah.
Roll to hit as you draw your bow, I presume.
The aim is, obviously, I hit it, and if it's not a kill, then Jask would go in for the kill.
Fine.
I'll also have my gun out ready as well.
Okay.
As all this happens, can I just try and grab them?
Linda?
Can we not just
I'm like,
appreciate the beauty? And I'll just look around. Okay, is there any need for us to rob this being of life?
Zaro standing there with the longbow drawn.
I just look back at him like,
Can I try and roll a charisma?
Roll a charisma check, Ilinda. See if the deities believe you.
Yeah, that's a 13. Oh, damn it.
I was going.
I was more trying to convince him. I don't really care about the deer thing.
Roll to hit, Zaro. You have advantage.
18 and it's what, 18.
Roll
20.
damage. You have advantage on damage as well. It's a surprise attack.
6 plus 5. That's 11 damage.
Fantastic. The deer is felled. As you stand, all of you, to head over to the deer.
But like, just a quick look around as we head over.
As you look around, Zaro, the world seems to spin around you. And you held the bow, you fired the shot, You look at the deer. Ravik, you turn, standing from the thicket. Ravik, what are you doing?
What?
Ravik,
I look around.
what are you doing?
I look for Yaris immediately.
As you turn, you're not sure, and you kind of, Ravik, what'd you let him get the kill for? Why didn't you listen to Elander? Ravik, where are you? Ravik,
Where are you?
What are you doing?
How are you talking to me?
Elander, as this is going on, you stand from the thicket, and you turn to look, and you see, standing in the water, standing over the dead body of the deer, a hooded, robed, slim figure. And she looks up at you, in the face of Artemisia, with a sorrowful gaze, kind of doesn't say a word, but looks, and you can understand the mourning of the death of this creature that you did not enough to protect. And as this happens, we smash cut to Dristan, Storbel, and Tennyson. What are you doing?
I'd go up to Tristan. Has Tristan got his coin out?
Tristan, are you holding the coin? You're muted, Tristan.
Yeah, hat down, just staring at the coin, flipping it like Adrian used to do.
I'll sit next to him. You know, Tristan, I'll get my coin out as well. I'll start flipping it as well.
Still, roll a dexterity check.
Oh, what? That's a success. 11.
Okay. Yeah.
Adrian was the smartest man I've ever met, and I've met a lot of people. I still can't get his coin trick right. I'm sure he will live on in you. I'm sure you'll become what he wanted you to become.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, Tennyson. So what are you doing here now then?
Wait, were you talking to me or Tennyson?
Tennyson.
He's kind of sitting away and he's a bit startled to hear you address him after the two of you were talking. So, say that again, Storbel.
What are you now doing? What's first barkeeper, now this?
It's been an exciting life. My job is to make sure that you're safe.
It's a bit of a change in mission.
Well, it beats serving drinks to snot-nosed brats like Elander, let me tell you.
I can imagine.
You could not get his drink right if he paid you 10 dragons. You know, he asked for purified water. Where do you get purified water in a city of 1 million people?
Why would he not just want a beer? Whiskey, gin.
Do you know he doesn't
So
even
many
eat
options.
meat?
Meat? How is he still alive?
Trust me. It's harder to kill him than you'd think. I've tried. No, not really. But don't tell him, but I do a special purified water for him where I give him a hoagie in a glass.
I like your thinking.
Ish.
So, how long have the others been?
It's been a while. He kind of stands and looks. We can probably go and find them. It's been a fair little while now, as you've kind of been sitting and talking to Tristan, interacting. He looks around, points to the direction in which they went.
Tristan, you right to head over there? I feel like maybe get your mind off it. That might help a little bit.
Tristan and Storble, can you both roll perception wilderness law checks, please?
Another net one.
Fail.
Tristan, you're able to pick up their trail. You sense the direction through shifts in air currents more than anything visible. Zara doesn't leave footprints, but you don't track by footprints. You, in nature, feel the balance that Adrian was always talking about, everything coexisting and interacting. And the disturbances, however slight, in this ecosystem are as plain as day to you. As you head through the thickets and the groves and the woods and the forest, you find, eventually after a few 10, 20 minutes of walking, Zaro, Ravik, and Illander, all of whom I need to roll a luck constitution check.
Fail.
Fail.
Yeah, fail.
All three of whom are lying on the ground next to a dead deer, rolling with their eyes back, froth pouring from their mouths, evidently having suffered some kind of severe madness. Tristan, can you roll? On a natural one, Tristan, you naturally avoided the thicket that they had been hiding in, knowing that even minimal exposure to this plant would severely rupture the mental pathways of any sentient life.
It's not disease, is it?
No.
Okay.
There a plan to fix it?
Time.
Okay.
But as it stands, Zaro, Ravik, and Illander are suffering from severe mental, cognitive issues, which will need to be resolved next week. Thank you very much for having played this evening. I hope, despite the tragedy, you enjoyed it.
Already?
Already, I'm afraid. Leave it
mean,
on
look,
a...
It's 20 minutes, but Jeff wants to leave it on a fancy note.
I want to leave it on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger. This is the thing.
What's
I'm going to
Jask
call it
doing?
there. Jask. What do you mean? What is Jask? Jask is kind of whining, kind of at Zaro, and as you approach, he kind of comes up to you, and again, like nudges you in the direction of Zaro, kind of nuzzling him, but trying to lick the froth from his mouth as hounds would do if someone suffers a seizure, but is otherwise unable to do anything. So I will be leaving it on that cliffhanger. Next week we can see what happens to the party. But I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite as dramatic as last week. We got a little bit more of a mellow session. Nothing crazy happened this session. Nothing major, nothing tragic or
I don't
depressing.
think you can lie that badly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think, it's a nice, well, even though, yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, everyone. Buy my book in the description. And next week, we'll see what happens when and if these guys ever get out of the Steel Hollow Forest.
Got it.
You're a murderer.